Well, hello, my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I've posted a video of me reading, and this is something I still want to try and get to do every now and then. I've been very busy, but welcome back to story time, bedtime story time. The book I'm reading today is called Kit and the Missing Notebook, and it is a book about calming your anxiety. And this is written by Chris and Lindsey Wheeler and illustrated by Carmen Saldana. So, let's get to it. Kit felt anxious the morning her family arrived on Cozy Lane. Where is my stuff, she wondered. What if it fell out of the moving truck? I know I packed it. It has to be here. But nothing was where it was supposed to be, and she couldn't find her special notebook. Kit wrote everything she needed to remember in that notebook. And she searched. Kit stuffed her pouch with all the extra things she needed for the day. Bubblegum, compass, rubber band, her backup compass, an extra pair of socks. Just as she located her favorite handkerchief. I don't know if you can really see those pictures. The lighting down here kind of sucks. Just as she located her favorite handkerchief, her notebook reappeared. "Welcome to the woods," her parents said as they entered. Kit hopped outside. She looked over her yard from one side to the other and made a note in her notebook. She hopped to the mailbox and looked up and down her street. And just as Kit was about to turn around, she saw something. Now in the picture here, it shows that Kit made a pros and cons list of her new backyard. Pros: tree swing, can hop across in 3 jumps. Cons: can hop across in 3 jumps. No sandbox, no swimming hole, no Billy. And these are the pictures. Two tiny creatures popped up above the fence and waved their fuzzy arms, but then disappeared. Again and again and again they did this. Kit swallowed hard. She hadn't expected to meet anyone today. What are they doing? Kit wondered, stretching onto her toes, but she couldn't see over the fence. Now, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I get anxiety when meeting new people. So let's see what the book has to say about this. Kit gathered herself and sprung into the air. "How'd you do that?" a hamster asked on a big bounce up. "Do what?" Kit answered before gravity brought her back down. "Bounce," the hamster responded. "You don't even have a trampoline." "Bouncing is what I do," Kit said. And the hamsters invited her to a bounce-off, and Kit couldn't resist. Look at that. Jumped out of her comfort zone, made a new friend. "I'm Buddy," said one hamster. "I'm Bella," said the other. "Are you new here?" Kit nodded, then stopped bouncing. She needed to write down their names before she forgot. She reached into her pouch, and Kit pulled out a pair of sunglasses and frowned. She tried again. Binoculars, pencil, piece of rope. "Where is my notebook?" Uh-oh. Did she lose it again? Uh-oh. Kit searched. It has to be here. She felt her heart tightening in her chest. Fruity snacks, sticky bandages, backup bandages, cotton balls, her favorite marbles. It can't be, I can't have lost it. "What are you looking for, Kit?" Buddy asked. "My notebook," Kit replied without looking up. "I write everything important in it." And the notebook wasn't in her pouch. We'll help you find it." Buddy slid off the trampoline. But the notebook wasn't underneath it. Bella searched along the fence. No notebook. Kit bounced up, but she didn't see her notebook in the tree. She bounced higher. What if I never find it? And farther. How will I remember my old friends? And farther. What if I forget everything? And higher. Sounds like the anxieties are setting in pretty tense there. Before collapsing under the weight of all of her anxiety, Kit's thought raced like a cheetah running after a gazelle. Her chest felt like an elephant was sitting on her ribcage. She tried to breathe. It was like she was underwater. What if this feeling never goes away? Is everything okay? A voice asked. No, Kit wiped her eyes and sniffed. I can't breathe and the world is ending. That's terrible, the voice replied. My name is Mrs. G. Can I help? There's little Kit having her little anxiety moment. And there's Mrs. G. She wants to help. Kit sat up. Have you seen my notebook? Miss G shook her head. But maybe some soup would help. Kit stared at Miss G. How will soup help me find my notebook? It might not, she replied, but it could help you feel better. Miss G makes the best soup, Buddy added. It's like magic, Bella said. It always makes me feel better. Miss G smiled before turning inside. I need 3 more carrots for the soup. Perhaps you can pick them for me. And you can see that Kit is like, what? And that Mrs. G just kind of looks super nice. But may I also add that encouraging her to pick carrots might just distract her a little bit from the problem she's currently having. Inside, Buddy and Bella washed veggies while Mrs. G put a pot of water on the stove to make soup. Kit watched the dirt disappear down the drain and wondered if her notebook disappeared the same way. Mrs. G, I have to find my notebook. Who ever heard of magic soup? Kit wondered. It's scary to lose something important, Miss G said, handing Kit a tomato. Thank you for helping me with the soup. The tomato was heavier than it looked. The soup was louder, too. Rice sang as it hit the pot, and soon the whole kitchen was filled with music. They're talking about the soup, and she's looking at the tomato, and she's hearing all the music sounds. Mrs. G added the veggies to the pot. Now, are we going to look for my notebook? Kit asked, offering her the tomato. But instead of taking it, Miss G held Kit's paw over the pot and squeezed it. The tomato squished between her fingers. It was kind of slimy, but Kit liked the way it burst. Miss G sprinkled seasoning over the vegetables and stirred. Now we wait. Soon a delicious fragrance filled the kitchen. Mrs. G breathed deep. It's ready. Directing her guest to the pot of soup, Miss G carefully lifted the lid. The trio peered inside. It looked like ordinary soup to Kit. The cooking soup, they're squeezing the tomato. And then they're all looking at the soup. And I bet you it smells delicious. Mrs. G ladled soup for each of them. Leaning over her own bowl, she took a deep breath through her nose. Smell. Buddy and Bella leaned over their bowl and took a deep breath. Careful, it's hot. Miss G blew on her soup. Buddy and Bella blew too. Kit leaned over her bowl and took a deep breath. The soup smelled full and rich, like it couldn't hold another vegetable from Mrs. G's garden. It steamed warm in her face. Slowly, Kit blew over her bowl and then tasted the soup. Mmm. Kit held the soup in her mouth for just a moment to enjoy its flavor. It did taste like magic, and she suddenly felt a little calmer. That is good. Can I take a bowl to my mom? There's Buddy and Bella, that's their names, smelling their soup and enjoying their soup. And there's Kit, enjoying her soup. Of course, Miss G opened the door where outside all the neighborhood had gathered. Soup is always better together. Kit carried a bowl of soup to her mom. First, you have to smell it like this. She breathed in deeply through her nose. Then blow on it like this. She was careful to blow gently and not spill. Kit's mom's shoulders relaxed as she took in a deep breath. It does smell good, she smiled. Wait until you taste it, Kit said. Just then, Buddy called, Kit! And pointed across the yard. I don't know, it kind of looks like they're having a bit of a potluck, But this whole take a big smell, and then blow on it. It's a really good calming technique. It works really well most of the time. And Buddy had found her notebook. Kit smiled as she thought about all the good things that had happened today. And if she had ever lost this calm, happy feeling, she knew who would help her find it again. Her notebook is on the back of the porcupine. And then there's a recipe in here for Mrs. G's magic soup. And I think I'm going to try that recipe soon. But that is the end of our story today. Thank you guys for joining me for story time, and we'll see you next time. This is my new YouTube channel, so if you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. I don't post every day, but I try to. We'll see you next time.